Well, greetings and good morning, Business 20 students. This is Mr.D. This is week number 4 in our 16-week class here at Norco College on business mathematics. And this week, we're going to be looking at trade and cash discounts. This is where if you buy something at bulk, usually from a wholesaler, they will typically give you what's called a trade discount. And that is, to help you then turn around and mark it up and sell it for retail price or whatever. So they'll sell it to you at a discount if you buy in bulk, and then you can turn around again and mark it up, and then you can make your profits off of the product that way. And that's what we call a trade discount. Cash discount is similar in the sense that oftentimes when you purchase something at bulk, they'll give you some terms in which you are to pay that back. Usually it's something like, N30, which means that it's due in 30 days, or N45, it's due in 45 days. But if you pay it early, sometimes they'll give you an additional cash discount. So they might say something like, 3 in 15 N30, that's the terms, meaning you get 3% off the entire bill if you pay it within 15 days. If not, it's all due 30 days. That would be the N30. So you'll be looking at that kind of stuff. And then there's different ways in which you can calculate those cash discounts, whether it's end of month cash discount or receipt of goods cash discount. So that's what you'll be learning about this week in week number 4. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my screen here. Hold on a second. Share my screen. Unshare my screen here. I'm going to share it again with our homepage in Canvas. So here we are in our homepage in Canvas. I'm going to scroll down here to to module number 1. And this, by the way, is the last week in module number 1. That means that you'll be having your first exam. And again, every 4 weeks is a new module. So this is the 4th week. And so you're going to be looking again at chapter 7. So make sure that you do the README first and the Help Sienna, and that you check the little mark as done box at the bottom. I don't think it's going to show up on mine because I'm the creator, but there should be a little box either up here at the top or down here at the bottom that says mark as done. So make sure you do that. But this is where I explain the different terms of cash and trade discounts. And then there's a Meet Sienna, which has the same thing. So it kind of relates it to Sienna's business. Excuse me. And then you have your study page for chapter 7. So make sure you work through that study page, and that you tackle some of the problems in the textbook. And then there's videos as well. And there's actually a video of me teaching it. However, I will be also teaching it on Wednesday during a Zoom session. And so if you want to join me then, I will be going over these problems, and then I'll be posting that new video in the study page as well as in the course videos on the homepage. So keep that in mind, but make sure you go through the study page, look at the book, look at the PowerPoints, and then you have a formula sheet. It's the same one from last week. I have both 6 and 7 formulas, chapter 6 and chapter 7 formulas on the same sheet, so make sure you review that. Again, this is the same thing you've been looking at all along, tips for solving word problems in case you haven't looked at it yet. And then you have your check-in assignment. Your check-in assignment is made up of basically some drop-down menus where you're answering questions about cash and trade discounts, as you've been doing, helping Sienna solve them. There is a quiz on chapter 7. I think it's, I want to say it's 6 questions long. I'm not 100% sure. And then you do have your exam. Now, some students like to ask me, well, why do you have a quiz and an exam in the same week? The quiz, you can take it multiple times, so it gives you a chance to kind of make sure you understand the content. And so I give it to you. It's really more of a learning tool than it is an assessment tool, but the exam is the assessment tool. So I would encourage you to work through the quiz a few times. If it needs feedback from me, I usually try and get that to you in the day or two. So work through it a few times, and then you should be ready for the exam when it comes to chapter 7. And the exam is going to cover everything that we've gone over thus far. So chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7. And so that's where you're going to be. And I think that's it. The only other thing is you are going to also be completing your case study. So this is where you are looking at the different banks, and you're making a decision on the bank to choose. So I'm going to go ahead and change the due date on that to be this week, the 21st. So I'll do that, and that's when it is due. So I'm going to go ahead and rather than say continue, I'm going to say complete. And this is your last week to be able to get that done. So please do that right away. And that is it. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do have office hours here on Mondays from 9 to 11. On Wednesdays, I have it from 9 to 11 now, but I think I'm going to move it from 11 to noon or 11 to 1. And then on Thursdays online, I have 10 to 11 in Zoom. So you can also meet me there at the same link that you use for everything else. So that's it. Have a great week, and you will see me again on video next week. Oh, and by the way, I do want to mention, sorry, that I do have the Zoom session. So let me go to modules. If it's not set up yet, I'll make sure it is. But on Wednesday, I believe, yes, it's going to be Wednesday. I don't have it in there. So be looking for this same link. If you just click that on this week's, it'll say chapter 7. It'll say 9:17 or 9:17 at 11 a.m. Then you can click that, and you'll join me in the Zoom session. I'll be going over chapter 7 questions in there. I'll also send out a separate email about that as well. So, all right, have a great week. See you soon.